Some people have expressed to me over the years a reluctance to immediately go out and hire a lawyer when they have a personal injury or they lose a loved one. They're concerned that people may view them as being greedy or having bad motives. They're worried about what friends and neighbors may say if their reaction to a tragedy is to go out and hire a lawyer to protect their legal rights. I understand that sentiment. But one of the things that I tell people who express that sentiment to me is to keep in mind, immediately after an accident or a wrongful death, there is usually an insurance company and insurance adjuster immediately investigating on behalf of the insurance company. They are out in the field not only investigating what actually happened, but they are usually on the phone within short order contacting victims to attempt to get recorded statements, sending victims authorizations that, if signed, would allow the insurance company full access to medical and work records. Sometimes they're even sending checks to victims and attempting to get matters quickly resolved for a lot less than what the claims are worth. It isn't that these people are bad people, it's that they have a profit motive in doing that. They are hired guns for the insurance company, the adjusters in the field, and their job is to get things resolved quickly for as little as possible. Now, in order to combat that, one of the things that I provide to anybody who calls my office is a newsletter, 10 Secrets That Insurance Companies Don't Want You to Know. Call my office or send me an email and I'll send that to you free of charge. If you read that newsletter, you'll see why it's very important for people to have a lawyer representing their interests when they're dealing with an insurance company. I would caution anybody who is a friend, family member, somebody who I cared about, not to deal with an insurance company if you have a personal injury or a wrongful death case. Hire a lawyer who can assist you in that process. And certainly don't sign any documents or checks that are sent to you without talking to an experienced lawyer. Now, on a more substantive basis, what I tell people about hiring a lawyer immediately is the following. What I have learned in all of my years as a lawyer, both representing insurance companies and representing plaintiffs, I have learned that it's extremely important for a plaintiff's lawyer to have an investigator immediately in the field doing exactly what it is the insurance adjusters are doing for the insurance company. In other words, going out, getting statements, taking photographs, and making sure that evidence is preserved. What I have included on my website are 2 videos that are surveillance videos from cases where folks immediately hired me and I sent letters to corporations telling them to preserve video evidence. The first one is a convenience store surveillance where a gentleman that I represented was killed in a motor vehicle accident with his 2 children as a result of some drunken drivers who were drinking all day at a convenience store. By sending a letter immediately to the convenience store and telling them to preserve their video surveillance camera, we were able to document for our case 3 purchases of wine that occurred over a 4-hour period by these gentlemen. We put subtitles on the video through the use of our videographers, and we submitted those to insurance adjusters for the corporation to show them we had the goods on them. They needed to resolve the case favorably for our clients. A 7-figure settlement was obtained as a result of that critical evidence being preserved. In another case that I have, video 2 on the website, it's a warehouse surveillance. In that case, I represented a gentleman who was injured in a warehouse accident. Basically, a forklift with a carpet roll on it turned, hit him, and caused a broken hip. By him immediately hiring me, he was able to allow me to send a letter to that company instructing them to preserve that video surveillance footage. That video surveillance footage helped us secure a significant 6-figure settlement on behalf of that gentleman. The reason why it's important to hire a lawyer immediately is to not only combat the experienced insurance adjusters and insurance companies, but it's also on a practical basis important so that you can have evidence preserved that's going to be helpful to your case. And remember, without that convenience store video, we could have had convenience store clerks saying they didn't sell wine to these gentlemen, had never seen these gentlemen before. Without that warehouse surveillance videotape, I could have had the lawyers for the warehouse telling us our client was doing something improper or was in an area he shouldn't have been in. These things are extremely important for lay people to understand. You're not greedy and you don't have bad motives because you choose to go hire a lawyer, understanding, of course, that the insurance company has lawyers on retainer all the time helping them. So keep in mind, folks, when you have been harmed or your family member has been harmed, it's not honorable to sit back and do nothing. In fact, it's the American way to defend our rights. So if you have any questions about any aspect of what I've just said, give me a call anytime. I hope to hear from you, and thanks very much for visiting my website.